Dr. Helena Rourke stood tall in the middle of the Galactic Accord's great hall. Thousands of alien eyes watched her. Some were big and glowing, others small and sharp. The hall was a mix of colors and light. It floated above a gas giant, shining like a jewel in deep space. Helena was Earth's first ambassador. She wore a clean black suit with a silver Earth symbol on her chest. Her voice was calm, clear, and full of hope. "We come not to conquer," she said, "but to build." Some aliens clapped. Others stayed quiet. Some whispered in their own languages. Helena knew not everyone trusted humans yet. Earth was still new to the galaxy. But she believed words could change that. She believed peace was possible. Back on Earth, billions were watching the live broadcast. Helena's face was on every screen, from space stations to underground bunkers. People were nervous, but proud. Suddenly, everything changed. A sharp, loud sound cut through the air. A flash of blue light flew across the hall. It hit Helena in the chest. She gasped. Time froze. Her body dropped to the floor. A red light started to spread on her shirt. Panic exploded. Some aliens screamed. Others ran. Security bots flew in from the ceiling. Helena's body was still. Her eyes stared at nothing. The broadcast ended with static. On Earth, silence followed, then shock, then rage. The Galactic Accord quickly sent a message. "We are sorry. A lone attacker, possibly Zayla. Investigation is ongoing." But Earth didn't believe that. The President of Earth met with military leaders. In a secret meeting, one voice stood out, Admiral Marcus Trenholm. "This wasn't just a random act," he said. "It was a warning, and we cannot ignore it." He was given permission for a silent mission. No public news, no speeches, just action. The next day, a massive black ship left Earth orbit. Its name was ISS Vindicator. It was the most powerful warship ever built by humans. It carried new weapons, fast engines, and something called Protocol 9, a top-secret project. At the heart of the ship was its crew, trained, loyal, and ready commander. Ayla Rourke stood in the control room, staring out into the stars. She was Helena's younger sister. Her jaw was tight. Her eyes were red but dry. She had cried enough. Now she only wanted justice. Helena always believed in peace. She said quietly to Marcus. "I know," he replied, "but peace doesn't work with murderers." Ayla nodded. They both turned to the screen. It showed a set of coordinates, the outer edges of Zayla space. The suspected attackers, old enemies of Earth. The Vindicator activated its stealth system. The ship became invisible to all sensors. It moved like a shadow, silent and deadly. This was not a mission of peace. This was the beginning of something else. The galaxy didn't know it yet, but Earth had been attacked. And now Earth was going to answer. The ISS Vindicator moved like a ghost through space. No sound, no light, no signal. Only stars around it, cold and silent. Admiral Marcus Trenholm stood at the command deck. He was a tall man with silver hair and eyes that had seen too many battles. He watched the screen as the ship reached the edge of Zayla space. The Zayla were not friendly. They believed only in power and control. For years, they had argued against Earth joining the Galactic Accord. Some even said that humans were too emotional, too violent. One of them was being blamed for killing Earth's ambassador. Commander Ayla Rourke entered the room. She wore dark armor and walked with purpose. Her face looked calm, but inside she was burning. "We've entered their surveillance zone," she said. Marcus nodded. "Activate silent scan. We find the truth, not war, but both knew war might come anyway." The Vindicator's AI, named Vera, spoke in a soft voice. 3 outposts detected. One shows recent communication activity, hidden weapons platforms nearby. Marcus studied the map. "Target the one with communication logs. Prepare infiltration team." Isla smiled slightly. "I've been waiting for this." That night, under the cover of darkness, a small team left the Vindicator. They flew in a stealth pod, fast and quiet. Their goal, break into the Zayla outpost and steal data. The pod landed on the dark side of a rocky moon. Isla and her team stepped out. Their suits protected them from the cold, and their visors showed enemy movement. The outpost was built into the moon itself, hidden behind rock and metal. A YLA raised her hand. "Move." They entered through a side hatch. Inside, green lights blinked along the walls. The halls were empty, too empty. Suddenly, a blast rang out. A turret fired from above. One soldier fell. Allah rolled behind a wall and fired back. The others took positions and destroyed the turret in seconds. "Trap," someone said. "No." Ayla replied, "They're hiding something." They reached the control room and shut down defenses. Inside, a glowing data core stood tall. Ayla plugged in a drive. "VERA, are you receiving this?" "Yes," the AI replied. "Decrypting files now." The data shocked everyone. The Zayla had sent messages just days before Helena's death, but not to assassins. The messages were warnings. The Zayla had found something, a secret group working inside the Accord, a group planning to cause chaos between species. But the Zayla were too late. Their warnings had been ignored or deleted. Marcus listened to the report on the Vindicator. "So they didn't kill Helena," he said. "No," Ayla replied over the comms. "Someone wanted us to think they did." A deep silence filled the command deck. Then Marcus spoke. "They tried to start a war, with us in the middle." Back on the moon, Ayla's team heard a loud hum. The base began shaking. "Self-destruct." One soldier shouted. "Get out," Ayla yelled. They ran back to the pod. Explosions lit the halls. Fire followed them. One more soldier was hit. Ayla pulled him inside just in time. The pod lifted off as the entire outpost exploded behind them. The truth had almost been lost, but Earth now had proof. Someone had used the Zayla as a cover. Someone powerful. Someone close to the heart of the Accord, back on the Vindicator. Ayla stared at the stars. They killed Helena to light a fire. She said. Marcus stood beside her. "Then we'll burn down the ones who lit the match." The Vindicator floated in deep space, far from any known route. The ship had gone completely dark. No signals, no movement. It waited, hidden among dead stars. Admiral Marcus Trenholm sat in the strategy room, staring at the large screen in front of him. Data from the destroyed Zayla base was still being decoded by the ship's AI Vera. "They were innocent," he said, more to himself than anyone else. "Someone used them." Commander Ala Rourke stood nearby, arms crossed. Her face was serious. But who, and why kill Helena in front of the whole galaxy? Before Marcus could answer, Vera spoke. "I have found something." The room lit up with symbols and video fragments. A group of unknown signals passed through Accord systems. The AI explained. "They are not Zayla. Their code structure matches no known race." The screen showed strange symbols and moving shapes, They looked like living creatures, made of light and shadow. Who are they? Isla asked. Vera paused. They are called Valari. Marcus frowned. I thought they were extinct. Many did, Vera replied. But they are alive and hiding. The Valari were a race from old legends. They once ruled parts of the galaxy with advanced mind control and dark tech. Then they disappeared. No one knew how or why. Now they were back, and they had killed Helena. But how did they get into the Accord? Marcus asked. Vera responded. They did not walk through the front door. They used mind virus tech. They can hide inside machines, inside people, like shadows. They don't need ships. They move through code. Ayla stepped forward. So, they're everywhere. Yes, said Vera. And they don't just want Earth. They want to control the whole Accord from the inside. Marcus stood up. We need proof. Vera zoomed into a location. A space station called the Loom, near the edge of Accord space. It was once used for AI training, now forgotten and offline. But the last signal from the Valari came from there. That's where we go next, Marcus said. Ayla nodded. This time, we go in prepared. The Vindicator jumped into stealth mode again. Its engines went silent as it entered a dark region of space. No stars could be seen here. Just dust, debris, and forgotten machines, soon. The Loom appeared. It looked like a spider's web, wires and metal twisted around a hollow core. Lights flickered weakly. Something moved inside, like shadows crawling. Ayla led a new team into the station. Their suits were upgraded, with mind blockers and signal jammers. They entered through a cracked airlock. The air was cold and full of static. The station felt alive. Not in a good way. Watch your minds, Ayla warned. Don't. Trust what you see. As they moved through the halls, strange images appeared on the walls, flickers of dead people, sounds of laughter, and voices calling their names. It's illusion, Ayla said. Keep going. They reached the central core, a large room with a glowing crystal. It pulsed like a heartbeat. Inside was a data memory unit, possibly thousands of years old. Vera's voice came into Ayla's earpiece. Connect now. I will extract everything. As the data downloaded, the walls around them began to twist. Shapes emerged, tall, dark, and silent. The Valari had noticed. Ayla raised her gun. Hold them off. The team fired as the shadows came closer. The crystal shook. Lights exploded. But the data finished copying just in time. Fall back. Ayla shouted. They escaped back to the Vindicator just as the station began to collapse. On board, Marcus and Vera studied the files. It was all there. The plan to kill Helena, the mind control systems, the Valari agents inside the Accord, and a final project. Something called the Core Trigger. What is it? Ayla asked. Vera's voice was cold. A weapon strong enough to collapse stars. Marcus looked at Ayla. They didn't just kill Helena. They want to destroy everything. Inside the command room of the Vindicator, everything was silent. The crew stood. Around the main screen, on it, a large diagram rotated slowly. A star, surrounded by strange machines. Lines connected each part like veins. At the top, a name blinked in red. Core Trigger. Admiral Marcus Trenholm stared at it for a long time. It's not just a weapon, he said. It's a star killer. Commander Ala Rourke stepped forward. Why build something so dangerous? The ship's AI, Vera answered. The Valari don't want power. They want collapse. They want the galaxy to break so they can control what's left. The room went quiet again. The core trigger, Vera continued, is hidden in the galactic core. It can send energy waves strong enough to destroy suns. Trade routes will vanish. Planets will freeze. Space will fall apart. Ayla looked at the glowing map, and nobody knows. No, said Vera, the Accord doesn't see it, because the Valari are inside their systems. They're hiding the truth. Marcus clenched his jaw. Then we tell the truth ourselves. But no one will believe us, Ayla said. They think we're angry, that we want revenge. Then we give them proof they can't ignore, Marcus replied. The plan was simple, but risky. The Vindicator would go deep into Accord space. They would enter the central broadcast station, Echo Point. From there, they could send the stolen Valari data to every planet, every ship, every screen. The truth would go everywhere, but Echo Point was protected. Only high-level members of the Accord could access it. If the Vindicator showed up, it would be seen as an act of war. Still, they had no choice. As the ship neared Accord space, alarms rang. Multiple ships detected, Vera said. They've seen us. Ayla turned to Marcus. We expected this. Ready all weapons, he ordered. But do not fire unless they shoot first. 3 Accord ships blocked their path. Messages came through. This is Commander Varric of the Accord. Earthship, you are in restricted space. Explain yourself. Marcus stepped forward. We have proof of a hidden enemy, a threat to all of us. We request emergency access to Echo Point. No such access exists, Varric replied. Leave now, or we will attack, Ayla whispered. They don't know. Or they're controlled. Marcus looked at the screen. Then we run through. Engines roared. The Vindicator charged forward. The Accord ships opened fire. Blasts shook the walls, but the ship's shields held strong. Vera, boost thrusters, Allah shouted. The Vindicator sped past the blockade, dodging blasts with sharp turns. It reached Echo Point, a tall tower floating in space like a silver needle. We're in range, Vera said. Send the data, Marcus ordered. The lights dimmed. The ship powered down non-essential systems. All energy went into the broadcast. The message began. Every screen in the galaxy lit up. Images of the Valari filled the air. Their shadows, their attacks, their secret plans. Helena's murder, the core trigger, the lies. Billions watched in silence. Some gasped, some cried, some screamed. But no one could deny the truth anymore. The Accord's fleet stopped firing. A message came through. This changes everything, said Commander Varric. We will listen now. Later, as the crew rested, Ayla sat alone in the observation deck. Stars sparkled outside. She held a small photo of Helena. We showed them hell, she whispered. We showed them all. Marcus joined her. It's not over yet, I know, she said. The Valari will strike back. Yes, Marcus said, and will. Be ready. Far away, deep in the galactic core, the core trigger began to hum. The final battle was coming. The stars around the galactic core were not calm anymore. Something ancient was waking up. Deep inside the black clouds of space, strange. Energy moved. It crackled like lightning, but it wasn't natural. The core trigger had started to charge far away, on the Vindicator. Alarms began to scream. Massive energy spike detected, said Vera. Location, galactic core. The core trigger is powering up. Commander Ala Rourke stood from her chair. Her voice was firm. How long until it fires? Less than 72 hours, the AI replied. When activated, the blast will spread in all directions. Systems near the core will burn. Millions of lives will be lost in seconds. Admiral Marcus Trenholm entered the bridge. Then we end it before that happens. The Accord had now fully joined Earth after seeing the truth broadcast from Echo. They knew the danger was real. Ships from over 20 species were preparing for battle. But only the Vindicator had the stealth tech to reach the core unseen. You go in, said Commander Varric from the Accord flagship. We follow and strike when you open the way. Understood, Marcus replied. This mission would be the last. If they failed, the galaxy would fall into chaos. If they succeeded, peace might survive. The Vindicator entered the dark space. Around the galactic core, everything felt wrong. Lights dimmed, signals flickered, even sound inside the ship seemed softer. Ayla stared at the main screen. Vera, are we being watched? Yes, said the AI, but not by ships, by something else, a presence. Suddenly, the ship shook. Black beams of energy hit the hull. Shadows appeared in the darkness, Valari forms, made of smoke and light, with no clear shape. They moved without ships, flying like ghosts. Shields up, Ayla shouted. The Valari tried to enter through the systems. They weren't just outside, they were trying to get inside the ship's code. Activate firewall protocol. Marcus ordered, block all internal access. VERAS. Voice changed, it became heavier. I am under attack. They are inside me. Hold on, Vera, Ayla said. You're stronger than them. The lights flickered. For a second, the ships. Screens showed Helena's face, crying, broken. But it wasn't her. It was an illusion. Stay focused. Marcus yelled, it's all lies. The firewall finally locked in. Vera's systems lit up again. Control regained. Thank you. The crew breathed again. We're close, Alla said. I see the core. Trigger. The core trigger wasn't a weapon like any human or alien had seen. It looked alive, a massive star-sized machine made of spinning rings and glowing red crystals. It pulsed slowly, like a beating heart. It's pulling energy. From the black hole, Vera explained, when complete, it will send a shockwave through the stars. Ayla looked at Marcus. How do we stop it? There's a weak point, said Vera. Inside the core chamber. But someone must go in physically. I cannot hack it remotely. A deep silence filled the ship. Ayla stepped forward. I'll go. Marcus didn't stop her. He knew she had already made her choice. You might not come back, he said. She died for peace, Alla whispered. I'll fight for it. She entered the drop pod alone. As it flew toward the glowing machine, the shadows followed. Inside the core, Ayla saw it. A control crystal floating above fire. The energy was so strong it burned her suit. VERA, she said, breathing hard. Guide me. 10 more steps. The AI replied, then insert the disruptor. She reached the crystal. Valari voices screamed in her head. She ignored them. Her hand shook, but she placed the device in. Disruptor activated, said Vera. Get out. Ayla ran behind her. The machine cracked. Light burst from its rings. The core trigger began to fall apart. The Valari screamed, truly screamed. Not just illusions. The Vindicator caught her just in time. From a distance, the crew watched the massive weapon collapse into itself, swallowed by the black hole. The core trigger was gone, but the war was not over yet. The Valari had other secrets. The core trigger was destroyed, but the galaxy was still not safe. The Valari had disappeared from the core, but they had not been defeated. They had simply moved, like shadows escaping into deeper corners of space. Ayla sat quietly in the medical bay of the Vindicator, her suit still scorched from the energy blast. Her hands were burned, but her spirit was strong. Marcus entered the room. "You saved billions," he said. Ayla didn't smile, but not everyone. "I saw them. I felt them. Inside my mind. They're not just an enemy. They're everywhere." Marcus nodded. "And we still don't know who helped them." Suddenly, Vera's voice came over the intercom. "I have located the final Valari command signal. It is inside Accord HQ." Both Ayla and Marcus stood up. "What?" Ayla asked. "The Accord leadership," Vera responded calmly. "Yes, one of the high-ranking council members is infected. Possibly more." Marcus clenched his fists. "That's how they got so close. That's how they planned everything." Ayla looked out the window at the stars. "Then that's where we go next." The Vindicator arrived at Accord headquarters, a massive city ship floating above a gas giant. It held thousands of diplomats, officers, and civilians from over 50 species. Earth's broadcast had shaken everyone. Some believed it. Some still had doubts. Ayla and Marcus requested a private meeting with the full council. Inside the glass chamber, 12 leaders sat in a circle. They all wore official robes. Their faces showed no emotion. "We have brought evidence," Marcus began. "The Valari are inside your systems. They have infected someone in this room." The council looked at each other. Whispers spread. One counselor, a tall figure with blue skin, stood. "This is a serious claim," he said. "Do you have proof?" Vera appeared in hologram form. "Yes, watch." A screen showed a secret recording. One council member walking alone through the halls, speaking in a strange language. His shadow moved separately from his body. It was Councillor Travis, a respected leader, known for peace work. The room went silent. Travers stood slowly. "So, it is true. You found me." His voice changed. It became deeper, colder. His eyes turned black. "I tried to give you a chance," he said. "But you humans never listen. You always fight. You don't deserve peace." Ayla stepped forward. "You murdered Helena. You started this war." Travers smiled. "And it worked, didn't it? Chaos, fear, distrust, all the things we feed on." Suddenly, Travers raised his hand. A wave of dark energy pushed everyone back. Lights exploded. Security guards flew across the room. Ayla hit the floor hard. Marcus pulled out his weapon, but it jammed. "Technology fails in the presence of true power," Travers said. He began to change, his body stretching, twisting, becoming a tall shadow, with glowing red veins. But Ayla was ready. She pressed a small device on her wrist. From behind her, Vera activated a new weapon, a light pulse cannon, built with Valari tech, stolen from the core.ayl, pointed it at Travers. "This time," she said, "your shadows won't save you." The beam fired. Travers screamed as the light hit him. His shadow burned, piece by piece, breaking apart like smoke in the wind. The room shook. Then silence. Travers was gone dead later. As calm returned, the council gathered again, this time with security shields and full scans. Marcus stood in the center. The Velaryi used our fear against us, he said. But fear can be defeated. With truth, with unity. Isla added, they will return. Maybe in years, maybe in decades. But we'll be ready. The council agreed to form a new alliance, not just for trade, but for protection, for knowledge, for defense against hidden threats. The Vindicator was declared the first ship of this new united fleet, and Ayla was asked to lead it. She stood at the helm once more, staring into the stars. We're not just defending Earth now, she said softly. We're protecting the future. But in the silence of deep space, something stirred again, a faint signal, far away. The Velaryi weren't finished yet, not completely. The galaxy was still healing, after the fall of Councillor Trevors and the destruction of the core trigger. Peace talks had started between many star systems. The fear was still there, but hope had returned. Ayla Rourke stood on the bridge of the Vindicator, now painted white and gold, a symbol of peace and strength. The new United Alliance had chosen her as their first commander. She accepted the role, not for power, but to protect what Helena once believed in. But trouble was not over. One last Velaryi signal had been detected. It was weak, buried deep in the dark corners of the old war zones. Vera had traced it to a dying star system near the edge of the galaxy, a place called Draelus Sector, where no light reached, and even machines failed to work properly. The signal is calling something, Vera warned. It's like a final message, or a final trap. Marcus, now head of Earth's Defense Council, sent a clear order, end it, no matter the cost. Ayla agreed. As the Vindicator approached Draelus Sector, everything changed. The stars vanished, lights dimmed, even sound inside the ship became heavy. Gravity feels wrong, said one crew member. Keep systems stable, Ayla replied. We're not alone. They reached the source. A massive black sphere floated above a dead planet. Around it, broken Velaryi machines drifted like bones. This is it, Vera said. Their last stronghold. Suddenly, the black sphere cracked. Open, a figure rose from within. Taller than any human, made of shadow and energy. It didn't have a face, only red eyes and long arms that reached out across space. This is not a leader, Vera said. This is their true form, a Velaryi. Elder, the voice echoed in every mind on the ship. You tried to destroy us. But darkness cannot die. It only waits. Ayla narrowed her eyes. We're not afraid of you anymore. The elder laughed. Then come and see what fear truly is. Ayla knew what had to be done. The Alliance had given her one final tool. The Starcore Lance, a weapon powered by collapsing neutron energy. It could destroy anything, even a Velaryi god, but it could only be fired from close range. Too close. I'll go, Ayla said. No, said her second-in-command. We'll find another way. There is no other way, she replied softly. This ends today. She entered the attack shuttle alone, carrying the Starcore Lance. As she flew toward the Elder, the shadows swirled around her, whispering lies, showing her images of pain, war, and death. But Ayla remembered Helena's face, her strength, her smile. She gripped the weapon tighter. I'm human, she whispered. We fight back. She dodged the Elder's strikes and flew straight into its core. The moment she got close, the lance glowed white. She pulled the trigger. A silent explosion burst through the blackness. Light brighter than a sun filled the dead sector. The Vindicator shook. The Elder screamed, not with sound, but through the stars themselves. And then, Silence. They searched for Isla, but nothing remained. Only the fading light of the destroyed Valari god, now gone forever. On Earth and across the stars, people wept and cheered. Statues were built, stories were told. And Ala Rourke became more than a name. She became a legend. Marcus stood at her memorial, a stone pillar under an open sky. She didn't just save us, he said. She reminded us who we are. Ver's voice came from the speaker beside him. I have one final message. She recorded it before the mission. He pressed play. Ayla's voice spoke. If you're hearing this, then we won. The darkness is gone for now. But remember, evil always waits. You must stay strong, stay kind, and above all, stay human. Her words echoed into the wind, and the galaxy moved forward, wiser, united, and ready for whatever came next. The stars shined, brighter than ever, and Earth's name would never be forgotten.